Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel, and I just want to do a quick little video for you guys. Jason Deason, you guys might know Jason of the Oklahoma Resellers group on Facebook and social media, brought it to my attention that another store filed for bankruptcy. 9 West, popular shoemaker. I think they do purses and handbags and maybe clothing as well. I think they mainly do shoes though, and accessory handbag type stuff. I'm not a woman, I'm not really up to date on 9 West's business plan. But anyways, they filed bankruptcy. They're selling off some of their brands. They own the Bandolino brand, which is kind of lower end brand, selling that to a company that already owns Juicy Couture and Aeropostale. So it looks like 9 West at some point may end up being owned by somebody else, but it doesn't look good for them. One more of the mall type brand, retail, consumer brands that's just nosedived, history gone. If it lasts, it won't be long. If the brand continues on, it'll be under ownership. Also, Remington, the gun maker, one of America's oldest gun makers since like the late 1800s, files bankruptcy. Now, Remington might be okay because they got a loan from the government, kind of like a bailout loan, like GM and all did. A little different, a lot less money, but they got a bailout loan. They requested $350 million. They ended up getting $75 million, waiting on the other approval, so they can continue to make guns. Because remember, Remington doesn't just sell guns to you and I. Remington sells guns on corporate levels and government contracts. They have contracts with people that they really can't break and that they need to complete the process of creating and manufacturing and selling those guns. So the government is willing to bail them out. Unlike a company like 9 West, the government's gonna say, sorry man, not everyone needs some 9 West shoes. So Remington's going to continue on. Whether they can stay in business for an extended period of time is yet to be seen, but for the foreseeable future, Remington will be okay. Also, in local news near me, you guys may know in the grocery store, Winn-Dixie, which several years back, they bought the grocery store Sweet Bay. We had 3 grocery stores here in Florida. We had Publix and Winn-Dixie and Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay went out of business, and we also had Cash and Carry, but Sweet Bay went out of business last. Winn-Dixie bought them. Publix has always been the monster around here, you know, outside of Walmart, and now Winn-Dixie has filed bankruptcy to close, for the 3rd time, mind you, to close 94 stores. They only have 600 plus stores, so I mean, that's essentially like 15% of their stores, almost 20% of their stores, total closing once it's all said and done. Doesn't look good for Winn-Dixie, and you know, it's no coincidence that Amazon buys Whole Foods. All of a sudden you start seeing grocery stores go out of business. You know, Toys R Us goes out of business after Walmart, Target, and Amazon crushed them, and the debt piles on top of them. Both sides of that for Toys R Us. Remember, they went out of business, 1, because of competition, and 2, because of the debt that was, you know, crushed on top of them. 9 West, kind of the same deal. They had crazy debt from investors. These private stock, Wall Street stock companies, hedge funds, places like a company called Bain Capital, which was owned by, or still is owned by maybe, Mitt Romney, the old presidential campaign guy who ran for president against Obama. He owns a company that invests in companies, in other companies. They did it with Staples, which Staples turned out pretty well, but they bought Toys R Us. They took bonuses for themselves. They piled this debt onto Toys R Us, and then Toys R Us couldn't make the debt payments. It was like $5 billion, and they had to make $400 million a year in debt payments, so they couldn't handle it, and that's what caused them to go down. The reason they couldn't handle it is because they couldn't make enough sales from the competition, so it was a combination of both things. Same story for 9 West. Probably the same story for Winn-Dixie, if I had to guess, because the people that bought them, and or when they bought Sweet Bay, they were piled down with debt as well. So a couple of stories to keep an eye on. I'll actually show you my screen real quick so you can see it. And it's just 3 more companies. I mean, what is this, like we've talked about here on my channel, like a couple dozen companies going out of business, and now just adding 3 more to the list. Let's go over and take a look. All right, here's the 9 West one. Again, 9 West, big seller of shoes. I think they also do purses and all that kind of stuff. There's a little story here. This is from Axis.com. I will link this. You guys can read about that. The second one was about Winn-Dixie. This is on a local website to me, the Orlando Sentinel, which is just like 45 minutes from me. Winn-Dixie parent company closing 94 stores, filing bankruptcy. That's Southeastern Grocers who owns them. And this is the 3rd time again that they are doing this. So not looking good for Winn-Dixie. 3rd time maybe the charm. And the last one, Remington getting that $75 million loan to keep them in business. They still filed for bankruptcy but this loan will help them to complete their manufacturing for the contracts they already have out. Apparently, Ruger, Vista Outdoor, and American Outdoor Brands, which owns Smith & Wesson, have also all been down in sales since the Trump presidency, which is weird to me because with all the gun control talk, I would think people would be out buying guns in hopes that, you know, they don't put strict restrictions on guns, and if they do, they'll already, you know, be grandfathered in for owning the gun. So it's kind of surprising to me people aren't out buying guns. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. I would think, because when Obama talked about gun control, people went out. I can remember, you know, right after Obama took office and not too long after that, man, people going out and there was lines at my gun store. When I bought my second gun, what, like 8 years ago? I don't even know how long ago, 6-8 years ago, when I bought my original Glock, it was a line out the door to pay for that thing. And there was like, it went from like a 3-week wait on concealed weapons permits. When I got mine, I waited like 3 weeks to like 6 months overnight. I mean, there was that many people trying to get guns. So kind of surprised Remington and Smith & Wesson and Vista Outdoor are having such problems selling guns. It's really, really surprising me. But anyways, that's what happens. You know, Remington has to get a loan after filing bankruptcy just to stay in business to complete their manufacturing for contracts. So 3 more companies on Lifeline. We'll see how many of them last and how long they last, if they last. And I'd like to know your opinions on this. What do you think about, you know, each one of these companies, or individually or together, or just in general, the retail landscape of America? I mean, everything is changing. It's crazy. If your name isn't Walmart, Target, or Amazon, or eBay, it's almost like you don't have a chance. You're fighting an uphill battle. So pretty interesting. Thought I'd share that with you guys. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you check out the links down below. I'll link as many as I can. And also all of my links to eBay and Amazon. If you need to do any shopping on either of those websites, please get to them first using my links. No matter who you buy from, it all helps me out, and I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.